Mr. Webb, would you please give us your full name and DOC number? You're on mute, Mr. Webb. If you can get someone there, the deputy there with you, maybe he can unmute the microphone.
It's unmuted. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Very good.
Mr. Webb, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Full name and DOC number.
Alvin Webb, 504-548.
Thank you very much. Mr. Webb, let me explain our process to you. First, I'm going to read parole revocation questionnaire to you. And then I'm going to read the allegations that it's alleged that you violated your parole. I'm then going to ask you, how do you plead to those allegations? Either not guilty with a statement, or guilty. Your attorney, Mr. Scott Collier, is here. So if you wish to discuss it with him before you plead, you certainly can do that. And once you plead, we'll have a discussion, a hearing on the allegations. And then at the end, you'll have an opportunity to say whatever you'd like to say to the board. And then Mr. Collier will close out by giving a brief statement at the end to the board, and then we'll vote. Do you understand our process?
Yes, sir.
Do you have before you, Mr. Webb, your parole revocation questionnaire?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature at the bottom of the page dated May the 23rd of 2023?
Yes, sir.
Was that information all accurate and correct the day you signed it?
Yes, sir.
Is it still correct today?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Collier is present here in person. Are you ready to proceed with your hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Webb, I'm going to read you the allegations. On July the 23rd of 2018, you received a diminution of sentence and was released on good time parole supervision. You failed to report to West Baton Rouge Parish District Office within the allotted 48 hours to complete the intake process. On September the 7th of 2018, a parole warrant was issued for your arrest. Your whereabouts were unknown until your arrest on March the 7th of 2023. How do you plead to that allegation?
Can I recommend?
Certainly, Mr. Collier.
I would advise Mr. Webb to enter a plea of guilty with the statement, and that there's some mitigating circumstances.
Okay.
Mr. Webb would like to discuss.
Mr. Webb, your lawyer has advised you to plead guilty with a statement.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Number 4 violation on 6/9 of 2020, you were involved in criminal activity in the commission of an offense of domestic abuse battery in East Baton Rouge Parish. You were arrested by the Baton Rouge Police Department on June the 9th of 2020. On June 15th, it looks like, 2020, you were billed with the offense of domestic abuse battery. On January 29th of 2021, you failed to appear for arraignment and a bench warrant was issued for your arrest. And on March 7th of 2023, you were arrested by the Point Compete Parish Sheriff's Office on the active bench warrant. On August the 3rd of 2023, you pled guilty to the amended charge of simple battery and was sentenced to serve 4 months in East Baton Rouge Parish Prison with credit for time served. There's a lot of information there. How would you plead to that allegation? Mr. Collier, do you have any suggestions?
Again, Mr. Webb, I would recommend that you plead guilty, because you have, in fact, we discussed this, but to resolve that matter, that means that we could plead to a simple battery. So I know you want to talk about that this morning. Move forward, it would be plead guilty to that charge.
Mr. Webb, how do you plead to that? Guilty with a statement?
Guilty. With a
Okay.
statement.
Okay. And number 9, on July the 24th of 2018, you moved from your last known residence without the knowledge or permission of your parole officer. On September the 7th of 2018, a parole warrant was issued for your arrest. Your whereabouts were unknown until your arrest of March 7th of 2023. How do you plead to that allegation?
You get guilty with the statement.
Guilty with a statement.
Guilty with a statement, okay? And finally, you failed to submit monthly payments towards supervision fees and are currently in arrears in the amount of $3,465. How do you plead to that charge?
With a statement.
Sorry?
I plead guilty with a statement.
Guilty with a statement. Okay, thank you. Mr. Webb, your case has been assigned to Mr. Pete Freeman. If you will answer, he'll begin our process of questioning you. Would you please answer any questions he has? Ms. Freeman?
Okay, Mr. Webb, be truthful today, okay?
Yes, sir.
If you lie, I'm gonna revoke. If you
Sir.
tell the truth, we might try to work some stuff out.
Yes, sir.
First off, let's start up. Why you didn't show up to the office back in 2018 to be signed up?
Yeah. I tried to let the guard read out to me because I can't read or whatever, trying to make me explain to me, but he told me just go on the sign and go home, and that's what I did. Went home.
Have you ever been on White Vision before this, Mr. Webb?
Yes, sir.
Did you know then to report to the office?
No.
Did you report to the office when you were on supervision before?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See, every time I get like paperwork, I let my mom read it out to me, and she'll tell me what to do from there. So I always
This time she didn't tell you what to do?
but I ain't never had the paperwork for her to let me know what I had to do. She said, "Well, I don't see the paperwork in here. What you got to do?" Because she always read everything out to me.
Okay, tell me about the domestic violence. It was over a set of car keys y'all were fighting over?
Yes, sir. I was supposed to be going to work. She supposed to be going to work because we got one vehicle. So she passed my job up to go to her job, and she took the car keys out the truck, killed the truck and everything. She went in and started working. So I'm still sitting in the parking lot waiting on her to come out with the keys. She never came out. So I got her one of her supervisors or boss to tell her, can she come outside, bring me the keys. So when she did came outside, bring me the keys, she started wanting to argue and fuss and fight with me and everything. I was like, well, I gotta go to work. Why you need to drop me off? And you could just took the truck to work. And everything led from there.
Where you were working at?
So 84 lumber on Choctaw.
All right, you gonna still have that job you get out, talk to your boss?
No, the job had laid me off because I used to do the sheetrock.
Right.
I used to live in sheetrock, so they don't live in sheetrock no more. So I found another job. I found something that I like better, mechanic.
What's that?
Doing mechanic.
Who you could be doing mechanic for?
Me and my dad,
Your dad lives in Point Capee or West Baton Rouge?
Punka P,
Y'all live up in Letchworth, huh?
Morganza.
Okay, Morgan, you
Yes,
know
sir.
me?
Sir,
Do you know me?
no,
Okay, I live in Morganza too. That's why I'm asking.
I stayed on photos.
Yeah, I know you. Used to
Yes,
be a
sir.
probation officer in Point Capee.
Yes, sir.
And then the card that you supposedly used, you claim that she owed you money?
Oh, to my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was staying with us at that time, and she told me to get her card and get the money off the card. And when I did, I took the right amount of money, and she told me to take off the card. Then when I gave her card back, she said I took too much off. But I'm like, well, that's all you had on your card. The only thing you had was in your card was $173. I took $160. And she's saying I
What she owed
took
you that money for?
rent. Cause she was living with us at that time.
Okay, you're not living with her no more?
No.
Does she have a restraining order on you or anything?
No, I don't think so.
Mr. Attorney, do you know if she has a restraining order?
I think she actually wanted to come to the hearing in May and may not be here, but I don't know.
Come on, what
I
side?
don't think she's
Yeah.
here.
On his behalf or against you?
I think on his behalf, but I was not able to get in touch with your mother
Okay.
to see where we were at on.
But y'all no longer in a relationship, correct?
No, sir. We ain't been together in about 6 years.
Yeah, my colleague said, 6 years, so what, this charge happened in 2020. So that's 3 years ago y'all were together.
But we'll seen each other off and on.
Off and on. Okay, well, we need to try to keep it more off than on. I'm gonna have a recommendation when I
Okay.
complete. I have no further questions. Mr. Webb, you said you want to explain your guilty pleas. Did we cover it all, or there's some other stuff you want us to know?
That's about all, sir.
Attorney, is that
Is there anything you would want him to say? Question?
I think that we went over this in the prison when I talked to him yesterday. I don't think Mr. Webb has any issues with substance abuse. I think that's really important for the board to know. Not that.
But before you do your presentation, Mr. Wise has a question. I was just wondering if you had any other questions for him to talk to us about. Ms. Wise, why don't you ask your question?
That's back to the credit card incident. Did she give you her password in order to access her funds off her card?
Yeah, she gave
She
me the
gave you a PIN
password,
number, whatever.
PIN number and everything. Yes,
She
ma'am.
gave that to you. Okay, so that's the only way you could access it if you knew her PIN number and stuff.
Right.
So she gave that to you and told you to go take out what she
Yeah,
owed.
and I guess when she must have got mad at me and must have just flipped out on me. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Because even if you steal the card, if you don't have the PIN code, you can't use it.
You can't use it.
Right. So are you legally married or are y'all
We
legally?
married. We married
How long y'all been legally married? I mean, legally married,
about 10 years.
about 10 years. And you had said y'all had been together in 6 years. What did you mean by that?
Well, like when she put the domestic on me and I went to jail, I left. I
Okay,
ain't never come back. I ain't never come back to her because she really got mad because I was about to leave her. Because I was about to trying to get my divorce or whatever. And she got mad and she tried to use the kids against me and all this and that. No, I take care of my kids.
what are the ages of your kids?
I got 1 11, just one.
Okay. Now, if you're successful today and your parole is not revoked, where would you live?
With my mom.
Where? What's that? I mean, in the
In
same,
photos, Morganza, down Photos Road.
would you have transportation to work?
Yeah, I got transportation. I got like 3 cars.
But y'all was arguing over a car, so you said y'all had
And
one.
by that time then, we didn't have no car till I left her, went back to my mom. That's when I started getting back on my feet.
Oh,
Doing
okay.
mechanic work and everything like that.
Okay. So since the domestic battery, you haven't been with it, and that was smart. That was very smart of you to leave.
Yeah.
When things started happening, it was very smart. Now, the responsibility is going to be reported at least once a month to your parole officer. Is that going to be a problem?
No, ma'am.
You know where to go.
Yes, ma'am. Poor Allen.
You know where the office is.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're behind on your fees. What can you do? What can you pay monthly to catch your fees up?
Whatever they need me to pay, I'll pay it.
Give me an amount.
I see $6,500 a month. You don't.
I like the sound of 100 a month.
I like that song too.
Okay, all right. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Webb, is there anything you'd like to say before Mr. Collier closes it out?
No, sir.
Mr. Collier?
I think one thing that could be sometimes not seeing these proceedings when I see, of course, I'm appointed. But when I saw Mr. Webb, he's very respectful to me. He appreciates what I'm doing. He was very forthright about his work history, and I was very impressed with that. That he was working in work release. That's what started his 84 lumber employment. When he left that, he got discharged from work release, and I know there was confusion, and it is what it is. But he worked there continuously until he was laid off. Works with his stepfather doing mechanic work. Didn't come out, but he told me basically he can fix a car from bumper to bumper, engine work, whatever. So he has a lot of ability. And then on top of that, I thought it was interesting. It's like Mr. Webb and I are talking. It's like, substance abuse is not a problem. So I think given this opportunity, if the board sees it that way, I think he'll certainly learn from this. I just hope that if you give him a second chance, he's been in jail since March, so he's been punished for not reporting. 4-month sentence was 2 years, 2 months of that was for the battery. We touched on the battery. I've seen a lot worse, but grabbing keys, and I just think Mr. Webb didn't do well. Gives him a second chance.
Thank you, Mr. Collier. Pam, ready to vote?
I have one more question.
Okay.
You said that you were in work release and the officer went over the conditions of supervision. Have you ever received a copy of your parole conditions?
I ain't never got to receive. The only thing I had was they gave me like a little brown pamphlet, like a little brown envelope. The only thing I had was in there was a social security card, birth certificate, and a check.
So the officer had you to sign the conditions and the officer kept them and didn't give you a copy?
No copies or nothing.
Okay. That's the truth. You tell Mr. Freeman asked you to tell the truth.
Yes, ma'am. That's the truth.
Okay. That's all I had, Chairman. Thank you.
Pam, ready to vote?
Yes. Sir. Okay, Mr. Webb, you've been in jail 7 months. You have a job. I know where you live. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You see all the cars in my yard.
Sure do. So, but I do think you can make it. I really do. My vote today is gonna be to do not revoke, give you 6 months special condition time, credit for time served. But I want you to stay away from your ex-wife unless y'all dealing with the child.
Sir.
Report to the probation office immediately when you leave that jail.
Soon I got to jail, I'm going straight to him.
Go to the parole office, sit there as long as you need to sit there, they need to get you signed up.
Okay.
Okay, I'm tempted to put you on electronic monitoring, but they'll probably laugh at me, so I'm not gonna put you on electronic monitoring. Because I think you'll make it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Ms. Wise?
Young man, when I read your case last night, I didn't think I'll be doing this, but you came very prepared this morning. I concur, Mr. Freeman. My vote is to do not revoke as well and continue on supervision under these conditions. You pay $100 a month in supervision fees going forward, and you begin an adult literacy class. Get with your parole officer and find one.
Okay.
And then request a copy of your parole certificate.
Okay.
Get with your mom so you can know there are multiple conditions and you need to know what they are and how long you are on supervision.
Okay.
Yes, questions to you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very
ma'am.
much. Ms. Wise. Mr. Webb, I've been very impressed with your interview. I agree with Mr. Collier's assessment of you. You're very honest, young man. You've been pretty honest with us. And like my colleagues, I think that you can make it. You've got some conditions that have been added to you. My vote likewise would be not to revoke. I'm just going to suggest, in addition to you showing your mother your papers, I would suggest you show them to Mr. Collier so he can go over them with you so you'll really understand. We don't want your mom to maybe misinterpret anything. Mr. Collier is the lawyer. He'll be able to tell you what you can do and what you can't do, okay?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So his vote today is not to revoke you with the following conditions. That you stay away from your ex-wife or your wife unless you're dealing with issues involving your children. That you pay $100 towards your supervision fees, that you enroll in and complete an adult literacy class, and that you obtain a copy of your parole supervision requirements and cover that with both your mom as well as your lawyer. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And so Mr. Webb knows Blake Babin was the probation parole officer that dealt with me. I don't know if he's going to be your parole officer, but I just wanted to tell you that name, but we'll be in touch and I'll get Mr. Babbitt to know what the result was, and then hopefully you won't have any other problem. Well, I know we won't. Correct.
Yes.
If you can,
Yeah,
sir,
thank
get
you.
in
We'll be-
touch with,
We'll be closed
John
up.
Oriel and not Mr. Babin, because Mr. Babin isn't in Point Competing. So John's a supervisor and he'll tell you who his officer is gonna be.
We'll close out at East Baton Rouge Parish. Scott, good seeing you.
Thank you.